jump cue, like so. And the jump is quite easy. However, that's not the beauty of it. The beauty of it is this. See, that was about 12, 13-inch difference. How's about I jump that?
Yeah. Go higher up on the bar.
How's about I jump that?
No, we can't go.
So, here's the challenge. The challenge is one ball and one width of chalk, jump, making them two balls inside. People ask me, do I gamble? Now, yes, it's true. Many years ago, all pool players, I would say 99.9% of them gambled once in their life or somewhere throughout their life. And I was a gambler. Some people have actually, there's rumors going around that I refuse to play people for money. And the rumor is, the result of that is I no longer gamble. I will challenge anyone in a format of a venue, an event, like for a world record. I will challenge people for that. Proceeds benefiting charities, I will do that. But for my personal benefit, I won't gamble. It's a decision I've made, and I'm very happy I made it. So, here's the challenge. Making two balls in the side pocket, jumping over the 11. As you've seen, the gap is one ball and one chalk. Now, if I were a betting man, I would say it's not possible. Now, if I were a real betting man, I would say I'm going to do it one-handed. How's that?
I'll take that.
Okay.
So I'm going to lose.
What I'm going to try to do here is very simple. I'm going to make that two ball on the side. I'm going to jump it with this cue, one-handed jacked up. And generally we have 3 tries. So, 3 and 1 on. So.
Great job.
You want to try it? No. No, that's just my name.
Calvin Castine at 8-Ball Billiards in Plattsburgh on Route 9 North. And we're here for a sharpshooting, pool shooting demonstration. We're going to listen to Jay Montpelier as he introduces Nikolaidis. And he's down from Canada to put on a pool demonstration. It's February 5th, 2006. It's Super Bowl Sunday, the extra large one, Super Bowl 40. And we're going to enjoy the afternoon here at the 8-Ball Billiards in Plattsburgh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jay Montpelier, owner of 8-Ball Billiards Cafe. And today we have a very special guest of honor. I'm very pleased and honored to have him here in Plattsburgh. He's a Canadian trick shot champion. He's a Canadian 9-ball champion. He's a Canadian 8-ball champion. Quebec 8-ball champion. He's a multiple world record holder. He was ESPN Trick Shot Magic runner-up in 2005 to Stefano Palinka. He was ESPN Trick Shot Magic runner-up in 2004 to Mike Massey. He holds the Guinness Book of World Records, most balls made in 24 hours. 16,723. He's got the most balls, world record, most balls in one pocket on a single stroke, 7 balls. He's the creator of Nick's Quick Tricks. He's the world champion 2005 runner-up to Mike Massey. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you Nikolaidis.
I'd like to thank Jay Montpelier and everyone here at 8-Ball Billiards Cafe and all the people from Plattsburgh. I drive here quite often, And by accident, we stopped over at a mall. And we asked if there was a pool room in Plattsburgh, and they directed us here. And when I dropped in, Jay was, "Oh my God, wow! You got to come here and do something for us." So it's a great pleasure for me to drop by and do something. And this evening, this evening, all Jay and his staff over here have been putting together this show for some time. Proceeds this event are going to help a very worthwhile charity. I always help in the worthwhile causes. We do have some of my product also available for those who are interested. It's a brand new product. They're templates that you actually put on the pool table. Balls sit in pre-punched holes. We tell you where to shoot, how to strike, and the rest is magic. We'll actually be demonstrating them throughout the afternoon. But right now I'm going to do about 15-20 shots, and I'll take a small break. We'll be doing some, if anyone is interested in taking a picture with me, we brought today a printer and a frame. We'll mount it on the frame. I'll sign it, so you'll have the opportunity to have a nice souvenir. It costs $5, and all the profits of this will help to the charity as well. And we'd like to help out as much as we can, so we'll do as many pictures as we can today. And then part 2 of the show will start right after that. And then later on in the evening, I'm sure a whole bunch of you guys or gals would like to challenge me to a game or two. And there's some bonus for anyone who can beat me later on this afternoon. So, we'll start, what's that one? Cut. Take breaks. Okay, time out. All right. Basically, everybody loves to play 8-ball, so here's a very different way of racking the balls. 8-ball is racked 15 balls in a triangle. What we'll do is we will replace the 1 ball with the cue ball like so. And trick shots usually have 3 attempts. If I miss on my 3rd attempt, I'll have to take a boot and move on to the next one. So what I'll do here is I'll strike the 1 ball, 3 rails, go 1, 2, 3, come around the white, displace the white, 1 will come right into the rack and we're ready to place the pool. So strike 1, 1, 2, 3, strike 2, I'm getting closer. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, I failed miserably on that one. How's about we try another way? This might be a little more interesting. It's the 8-ball billiard cafe. 8-ball, center of the triangle, off the hit. There we go. So, that's not bad. Usually, we need to practice, hit some balls, warm up. And what I usually do is warm up is most pool players will just put a whole bunch of balls on the pool table and start striking them one by one. In my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the ball down the table and hopefully miscue and make it work. So throughout the show, what I'd like is just to make it a little more interesting and personal. Since I've been here a few times, half of you have seen me here on several occasions, because I drive by quite often on the 87. Once in a while I'll stop in and say hi to Jay and friends. So if you guys have a question, one at a time, you can just step right up over here on the side. Then you can ask me a question, or what I'll do is I'll start over here and I'll keep going around. Eventually everyone will ask me a question. So here we go. So you see, that wasn't too difficult. Try to do as many balls as we can in a span of half an hour. I could wind up doing substantial now. Okay, let's say who's got a stopwatch? Here's the challenge. Now that I'm all warmed up with 1 ball in the pocket, we'll start all over again. So I need someone with a stopwatch, and I need 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, we got one stopwatch here, we got one stopwatch there. I got 15 balls in mine over here on the table. We're going to start over here on this side, so when I'm done, I have a question. How's that? Okay. We start as soon as I strike the cue ball. So far, so good. What I need is say every 30 seconds. Just let me know what I'm doing. Be really helpful. I have to put it to high gear on the last 30 seconds. Did I reach 30 seconds already, or we have a minute? Okay, so now we're going to watch this. It's so easy. Can't always be difficult. Oh. That's what happens when you take your time in the beginning. So, just stand up, tell people your name, just quick question. David, everyone. Hi, David.
Hi,
David, my hero.
Well, in this case here, what you do is you build a tempo. What you do is as you throw it, you sort of gauge an angle, and then you want to find the specific speed of the ball to make contact. So that's why I was missing the first few, because I would hit it too hard or too soft. Thus, would change the angle. So eventually, I found the proper line of aim, and then the speed, and the rest was just have some fun. All right.
Good question, Dave.
Okay, now we got 3 balls. We got 3 balls left on the table. What I'll do is I'll try to make all 3 in one shot. Here. Think of a question, you're next. All right. On the following shot, what I'm going to try to do is strike the 2 ball, combination 6 ball in the corner, 2 ball opposite side. Cue ball will continue 1, 2, 3, cushions up table, hopefully sinking that 10. We play on all kinds of different tables, so sometimes specific shot will work on one table and it won't work on another. So we have to make certain adjustments just to have the ability to make that shot. But this shot is doable on quite a lot of tables. So here we go. Shot number 1. Okay, next time I'm close like that, everyone go, oh. So I tell you what, I'm going to use, what's your favorite number? There you go. Okay. You got to ask him if that was adequate. 24. Would this be good for you? 2 and the 4. We'll put them together. Makes 24. Okay, we got the thumbs up over here. So. Good thing you didn't say 722,000. Good. Here we go. 3 balls. 3 balls. So that would be strike number 2. Now all we have to do is find the halfway point from here to here and making that 4 ball 12. Part of the 24. So it'll be 12. And it'll be half. Last attempt. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Oh! Bad luck. Question? It's okay.
Do you think Efren Reyes is better than you or you're better than him?
In what sense?
Professional tournament.
Efren Reyes, for all who don't know who Efren Reyes is, Efren Reyes is known otherwise the magician from the Philippines. He is by far the greatest pool player to ever play this game. And I'm more than happy to say that because I've had the ability to watch this man play day in and day out for many years. However, if you were to come to this, where trick shots are concerned, he doesn't play trick shots like I do because this is what I specialize in. And world records, I would beat him. So, but where 9-ball competition is concerned, this man is the best. For all who have, there's a brand new tour called the IPT Tour. It's an 8-ball tour. It's the biggest ever money tournament to be held. It just happened recently. It's a monthly event now. And this gentleman, Efren Reyes, beat the defending champion, Mike Siegel. He beat him, if I'm not mistaken, 8-1 or 9-1. He just polished him off like nothing. The winner had $200,000 to his name. So if that answers your question.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, now, seems that I didn't have good luck on, I had 3 balls. I'll try another 3-ball shot. I guess a lot of people from here have been to Montreal just for a visit, and they've all realized that once you get close to that city, you've got to cross a bridge. And sometimes it's a nightmare crossing that bridge.
It's even worse getting back out of Montreal.
So it's even worse getting back out of Montreal. So, you guys have a bridge? Get in and out of Montreal, there's a total of 17 bridges and/or tunnels. So during rush hour, it's certain areas of the city are a real nightmare. Very similar to, not comparable to New York City, which is much worse, but you can sort of have some sort of relation to what they go through. So this shot here, I call it the rush hour over and under the bridge. It reminds me of the day when I have to cross that bridge. The goal here is to sink 3 balls. 1 ball on the side, 2 ball in the corner. 2 ball will jump over the bridge. 1, 2, 3 cushions go under the bridge. sink that 3 ball in the corner. Here we go. Just a second. So that should be a little easier. So once again, we have 3 tries in total. And next question, either of you, do we have a question? Ponder on that thought. Wait a minute. I'll try to read that. Where's your name? Maybe the left. Oh yeah. Now okay, here we go. One, two, three. Okay, I'm confident now. Now it's going. Strike one. That looks much better. Oh. Any questions? How often do I practice to get this good? I started playing pool at the age of 5, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes, I would miss the ball, I would get angry, but it's not worth getting angry. You just learn from your mistakes, and then you have to move on. Hopefully, you don't make the same mistake twice. But when I practice for a competition, I practice approximately. My wife, my manager over there, he pulls out the whip and says, "Practice time." I have to practice at least 3 hours a day, and that was at least for 2 weeks prior to the event. So basically, every day I practice 3 hours, totaling about 21 hours a week for every event that I go to. And when I went on to ESPN, which was aired in December, and I lost in the finals in overtime, I had to practice 3 weeks. So this year coming, I will practice 4 weeks. Okay. Now. So far, we're doing pretty good. We're about 60%. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the stakes to 6 balls in 1 shot. And the way that one works is really, really fun. Many, many years ago, there was a gentleman by the name of Steve Miserak. Steve Miserak, for anyone who has ever heard of the guy, he's been inducted into the Billiard Hall of Fame, which is the most amazing thing that can ever happen to a pool player. And he came up with this shot in the 80s for Miller Lite. And the way it worked is pull the springs. That'll do the job for us. So what it was is it was a shot of a total of 3 different trick shots. So the third part of the shot wound up right here as such. And he had to strike the 1 ball. 1 ball hits the 2. 2 goes cross-side. 1 continues, hits the 4. 4 hits the 3. 3 and the 1 go in the side pocket. 4 goes up table. 5 in the opposite corner. Meanwhile, the cue ball will go 1, 2, 3 cushions travel down table. And this was in the way. Then he would just come over to the table as the ball was coming and said, "Thanks for pulling the springs." So I'm no Miller like that. So just have to double check. And the next question will go over on this side. I missed the check something. Problem. Okay.
We won't charge you for researching.
No, okay, perfect. What happens is most trick shot artists will come in advance and do hours and hours of setting up, thus trying to make their show a little quicker. But sometimes that works against you because it takes away from the warmth of the show. People don't have the opportunity to really understand what's going on. So now you're actually seeing sometimes how we make adjustments live, because on TV it's very difficult. You don't see how we make quick adjustments because they'll just cut it, edit it, it's gone, and they'll just sort of come up and say, okay, here's the shot. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 rails, 9 in the corner. Oh, let's do Question.
How do you maintain your focus for each shot, time and time again?
Very difficult question. Sometimes the biggest problem is not making the shot. The biggest problem is maintaining focus and your concentration throughout the match or a specific shot. All who watched me lose on ESPN, because basically in my eyes that's what happened. I lost to myself. It's because lack of focus. I was about to shoot. I selected a shot that I've never missed in my life, competition. So I said to myself, this was a gimme. And in life, nothing is a gimme until it's actually done. I had to learn that the hard way. So the most important thing is forget about everything, because I was full out. Something came to me, I'm about to shoot, and I'm already thinking, what am I going to say? How am I going to do it? Instead, I didn't even make the shot and I missed. So the priority is just look at the ball, say to yourself, this is what I want to do. And as I've demonstrated, counting 1, 2, 3 keeps your mind occupied. So if you were to be a shot, let's say this is a game-winning shot, and I'm saying, okay, I won the match, but you didn't. What you should do is you get up. If something is bothering you, get up, go down, and when you initiate the sequence, count in your mind. Go 1, 2, 3, and shoot on 4. This is a very powerful tool because it preoccupies your conscience. Remember, your conscience can only think one thought at once. And your subconscious can do countless things. So you're playing pool with your conscience. If you preoccupy your conscience with the thought of counting, you won't have the ability to think, what happens if I miss? So if it was an answer to your question, this is the ideal way of staying focused. Right? You're going to have a question for me later? You're going to have a question for me? I know you're going to find a question.
You got my number.
All right, now, there are certain categories of shots that we do in trick shots. There's props, novelties. There's a follow category, drawback category, jump, masse category. Unfortunately, I won't be doing masse shots because I do them quite well. Unfortunately, I don't believe masse should be done on pool tables because you can easily damage the equipment. By damaging the equipment, example, when you do a masse and you miss, odds are quite good that you're actually going to rip the carpet. If you rip the carpet, Jay will be upset initially, but then he's going to be smiles from ear to ear because he's going to wind up giving you a bill for a substantial amount of money to replace the carpet. So it's bad because you could rip the carpet quite easily. Not that I've ever done it over the years, because in my case, I really don't do many of them. But by the same token, that should remain on a billiards table. Billiards tables are pool tables without pockets. And the carp is much faster, therefore you don't have to hit as hard, where the cue just like literally drops like this, and the ball will make a really funny curve. But you can't do that on this table, unfortunately. So in order to do that, you have to hit really hard. So, off to the next category, which is a follow shot. Follow shots are really, really fun because the ball will spin in ways that you can't really imagine spinning. So, for all who have seen trick shots on TV, this is a real crowd favorite. It's called Through the Window, or Breaking the Glass. So in this case here, I'm going to try not to break the glass. The way it works is put 3 balls in the line. And you put a barrier of 5 balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a small gap, the equivalent width of 2 balls. And we'll place a ball combination in the corner like such. So the goal of this shot is very simple. Pocket 4 balls in 1 strike. 1 ball in the side pocket. 3 will hit this rail, bang. 2 will come down into the corner pocket. Meanwhile, the cue ball will come back, cut across through this small opening, and curve forward, up table to the corner combination. You actually have a real good vantage point because you'll actually see the whole thing twisting in front of your eyes, as do you on that side. So, here we go. Strike number 1. Hey, wow. Was I right on that vantage point? Now it's sweet. Now, we're going over to our next question of the day.
What do you think of Mike Massey's boot shot trick?
Mike Massey's boot shot trick was wow. That was the first time I actually saw that shot. I was really impressed because to project the ball 12 feet and actually land in a space of about 6 inches, 6-inch circle in diameter is phenomenal. So that really did wonders for him. Everywhere he travels, he's a guy with a boot shot. Believe it or not. I actually had to try it this year, and I missed my first time ever that I tried it. I missed it by about 1 inch. I just overshot the boot.
I see.
So
Stefano Coimbra did it.
yeah, Stefano tried it, and after maybe 100 times in the studio, he finally pulled it off. So he figures, oh, I can pull it off now. It's not a problem, but he doesn't realize that it's not that easy. All right. The next shot that we have is going to be a machine gun shot. This is a really, really fun shot. So we'll give you guys the vantage point. We'll give you guys over here the other vantage point. If you watch me doing a setup, I actually hit the ball. It's called tapping. And the reason why it's done is very simple. If I were to miss the shot, I'll have the ability to replace it in the exact same position, facilitating my preparation for the second attempt. So here we'll have a total of 10 different balls lined up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 8 ball is hanging in front of the pocket. And we'll use the 1, 2. once it starts, it's quite quick, it moves quite quickly. I'm going to strike the 1. The cue ball will billiard off the 2, come into this tunnel. Once it starts around the 6 or the 7, it's just going to go right, sinking the 8. And that's why it was nicknamed the machine gun shot. Next question will go into you. To become a professional pool player, do we need classes or sponsors? And the answer to that is no. The way to become a professional is to start playing in your local area. First, become the champion of your region. Once you become the champion of your region, then you can move on to, shall we say, a state championship. If you become a state champion, then you don't move on to national championship. And from the national championship, you try world championships. This is a very, very difficult task to accomplish because there are so many good players. You could be really, really good one day, and then you go into a competition and you play substandard, and you're upset. But the most important thing is that you continue. Once you try to compete, you should do it on a more frequent basis because you're going to devote about 20 hours a week to fine-tuning your abilities. You go to one tournament and you miss, and you give up. It shouldn't be that way. So ideally, you have to try to commit yourself to maybe 4 or 5 months. To commit yourself to something for 4 or 5 months is very costly as well. All right, the next category of shots will be the drawback category. Now, we're playing 8 ball or 9 ball. Leave the board over here. My opponent comes to me and says, very simple. All you got to do is make a stop shot on the 1, make a combination on the 9, you win the game. My opponent came up to me and said, by the way, the next question is yours. He says to me, I bet you can't win in 1 shot. Then I turned to him and I said, what do you mean I can't win in 1 shot? I said, what kind of a challenge is that? He says, well, I bet you can't make the 1 and the 9 in 1 shot without moving the 5 ball to win the game. I said, wow, that's a really big challenge. What are the probabilities of me making the 1 and the 9 without touching the 5? Pretty difficult. Okay. Trick shots are, shall we say, given a degree of difficulty from 1 to 10. 1 being very easy, 10 being the most extreme. There are a couple of shots which go 11 or 12, but I won't be attempting them today because the reason why they're 12 is they're very, very difficult. So this shot here is a 10, where this degree of difficulty is concerned. I will pocket the 1 ball in this corner pocket, and I will draw the cue ball, and it will go, it will arc like this. It will go 1, 2, 3, come back down table, and sink the 9. So remember, if you want a really hard shot, you've got to hold the cue back. Set yourself. Shoot from the hip, hold your cue, step back, step into the shot, take the aim, stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minor adjustment to be made. So strike number 2, the second attempt. Is that looking better? Is that looking good?
for a shot, what's the very last thing that you look at? Do you look at the object ball or where you're trying to strike on the cue ball?
Actually, many pool players have their own version, and if I were to actually, let's say I want to make a 5-ball in the corner, I will go through my fundamentals that I say. Line myself up based on how hard I want to strike it, pull my cue back. Now I'll verbally tell you what I'm thinking as I'm getting ready to shoot. Line myself up, make it adjusted. So now my eyes are on the cue. I go to stroke, still on the cue ball, and the object ball, object ball, object ball. So I'm actually aiming object ball. So what I've done is, the reason why I stroke 3-4 times is I refine my actions. Once they're properly refined and I'm stroking the same speed, I know that 99.9% is going exactly where I want. So my final sight is on the object ball. Draw. Okay. With a show of hands, how many people drive and once in a while you're behind a Sunday driver? Okay. You should, sometimes wait and respect their skill level. Sometimes it's not easy driving. It's very dangerous at times. We don't know what's ahead of them, and we sort of anticipate, there's nothing ahead of them, but it could be something just off their right-hand side, and we just try to overpass them. Sometimes it's dangerous. You could get into an accident, hurt someone, maybe, hopefully they'll never get there. So this one here, what I will do is, I will sink. I'm driving down the street. Next question is yours, by the way. I'm going to sink both balls in the corner pocket. But as you can see, both balls are frozen. One is behind the other. What I will do is strike the cue ball. It's the one. The one will go on to its merry way towards the corner pocket. And then, as a Sunday driver, aggressive driver, shall we say, thinks he's going to say, I'm going to overtake this guy and make it to the corner first. So I'll strike the cue ball, overtaking the one, sinking the cue ball first, and then the one.
How do you account for more professionals not conforming to basic standards of stroke? You notice now they put the chin on the sticks, the chest on the sticks, and they're getting way down low on the tables.
Why don't professionals use my style? Very simple. Professionals have been playing for many, many years. So let's say, for argument's sake, if you were to take a piece of wood, flat piece of wood, and now you want to put 20 of them, one on top of the other. Start with one, then you put the second one on top, just slightly off. The one that has to go on top of it, you can't put it right on top because eventually the weight will just throw it off. So he's got to offset it. So what happens is, over the years, he's learned, because most pool players start young. So when you start young, example, because of height, take this young gentleman, for example, if he were to come to the pool table, he would definitely not play with his elbow, wrist vertical. He would be side swiping. So if you take a look, he'd be shooting like this. So what happens is, over the years, as he grows, his brain is still looking at himself playing in this manner, on the side. So that's one thing. Then he moves on and gets a little taller. He may make a little adjustment. Then sight, he's getting better. How does he aim? He's been used to aiming in a particular method. And keep in mind, I went through all of this myself. So what I've done is, like I said, I've traveled the world and I've done studies on the mechanics of your body and how and why. And ideally, this is what I've come up with. This is my science. I'm not saying that everyone should do it. I'm not saying you should do it. Most of the pool players that have tried it today have said it feels more comfortable, and the performance, the results are there. But my recommendation is for you to try it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, seek out, at least you understand the fundamentals which are required. How to stand properly, how to hold the cue properly, why you should hold it that way, how to make your alignment, how to stroke, how to follow through. These are elements of the game. Now, you can learn, you can watch someone else, and perhaps you might like their style. But in essence, eventually, as your game progresses and improves, you will be obligated to select a style. Could be your own, could be bits and pieces from, I like the way he stands, but I don't like the way he strokes. I don't like the way he follows through. As I've done over the years, I've selected key players in the world that have good styles in certain areas, and I've deleted the rest and kept what I like, and I formed what I have today. That answers your question. Okay. So now we have another interesting shot. Jump shots. I've been asked many a times, jump shots, how they work, why people do them, how can they do them, and this is going to be a very interesting shot. It's going to be quick and entertaining. Everybody here plays 8-ball. It's perhaps the most preferred game today. 9-ball is very popular, but by the same token, it's more difficult, so that's why it's more shall we say, confined to the professionals and the gamblers. So I was playing, and I was left in position as such, and I said, the whole story goes that I have to run out. I made my 7 balls without missing, and I wound up in a position like this. So my opponent is laughing and making all sorts of funny comments. And I said, hold on, it's still my shot, and it's not over yet. So I turned to him and I said, I'm going to make the 8-ball in the side pocket. It's going to hit the rail, it's going to jump over the rail, and the 8-ball will never touch any of these 2 balls. So he looks at me and he says, in your wildest dreams. So, jump shots are not necessarily just over a ball. You can use the cushion to jump over a ball. The cushion is made of rubber. So if you have the proper speed, proper angle, you will have the ability to jump over a ball. Strike number 1. Next question will be yours. Look at that. Strike number 2. Okay, I think I'll be able to make this.
Have you always shot on a big table?
The question is, have I always shot on a big table? I've had the ability to play on all kinds of tables. I started playing on an 8-foot table, coin-op table. And over the years, I've been fortunate enough to play on 9-foot tables, which are the standard in competition. I played on 7-foot tables, which are the otherwise known as the bar boxes. If ever you go to Las Vegas, they have these massive pool tournaments. They're all played on 7-foot bar boxes. There's one right behind you. And then I've also played on billiard tables, which are slightly larger than this. They're 10 feet long by 5 feet wide. Has no pockets. The carpet is faster. It's more fine than this. Balls are slightly bigger, and the slate is heated. The slate is heated in order to maintain consistency. So it's more complicated because it's a very precise game. I've also had the ability to play on a snooker table, which is 12 feet long by 6 feet wide. The pockets are much smaller than this, and the pool balls are also smaller. And for anyone who knows snooker, I have the ability to run over 10 centuries in a span of 6 months. A century being over 100 points. Pool players or snooker players live their whole lives, and if ever they run 1 or 2 centuries, they're really happy. In 6 months I ran over 10, and my high in snooker is 127. So, on the following shot, I will do what is known as speed pool. Speed pool is quick, it's really fun, it's entertaining. The goal is very simple. I think because we're using these kind of pockets, I will do the following. Starting with the cue ball, over here, working my way up. 1, 2, 3. 5. Okay, what I'm going to do is very simple. Make 10 balls in one pocket in a very, very short period of time. The way it works is I'm going to strike the white ball, like so. White ball gets to the corner pocket. That was about 3.5 seconds or so. But here's the catch, here's the but. Before that white ball gets to that pocket, I have to cut across and strike all these 9 balls into that same pocket in sequential order, and then the cue ball will drop. So, it's called speed. You had the ability to watch me on Trick Shot Magic this year. This was a shot that I challenged my opponent, Stefano Palinga, and fortunately for me, he wasn't quick enough to accomplish this task. But I had to cut it short to 7 balls because the pocket was a stationary pocket, meaning that it was a ball return, so all the balls just kept piling up in the pocket. So I can only do 7. So here we go. There we go. I like that.
Is this one that you invented, man?
No, this has been a shot that's been like a challenge shot for, like some speed players want to challenge cool players. It's something that they would pull out of their bag of tricks, but I think it's really entertaining to actually watch all these balls rush into one pocket at once. I think the most amount I've ever done is actually 10. So there's 9, so it would be a 10 ball here. So today I'm going to go for 9. It's just I gotta make an adjustment on the speed over here. Last try. You got the thumbs up over here. Here we go, last attempt.
One more.
Second. Biggest problem with this shot is when you actually shoot the one, I'm hesitating because I want to gauge the speed before I actually start shooting them. So there's my mistake. I should just focus on the one ball and sequence right after that. As soon as I strike the cue ball, just forget about the cue ball. Anybody here have the next quick tricks? Step right up with your next quick tricks. What's that? You got a sharp? All right, bring it over. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do about 5 of these tricks. Start off with 6 balls in one pocket and one shot. All right, your favorite one? How does this product work? It's very simple. Pieces of paper with a drawing on it, with holes punched in the middle of the pocket, middle of each little ball. Comes with a set of instructions, and the instructions tell you very clearly where to place it, how hard to strike, where to strike on the cue ball. And there's instructions on how to actually use the product and make any adjustments if required. So we will select the classic shot, which is called Butterfly.
Hey, what's going on, Bill?
Line it up. It's relatively as it seems. Right down the middle of the table. We'll use 6 balls. Number 1 through 6. Place them on the hole. See how these can just fall right into place. There you go. All you have to do is visually inspect that the balls touch where required.
You quickly pull the paper out from under them, right?
No, we can't do that quick magic stuff. If the balls don't touch, you take the white ball and move the ball a little closer so that you touch. You just tap it in, and there you go. All you want to do is just visually examine that they all properly aligned. If you were to miss a ball, the reason why the numbers are placed in a specific manner is that if you miss a ball, you can actually remember which ball you missed, go back to the diagram, and make that correction. So we also recommend that you tape it because on some shots, when you strike, the paper may move slightly. I hear you have a pool table at home. Step right up. Here's your clear. We're going to do a trial. We're going to do a practice shot. What you're going to do is you're going to come over here on this side. And if you can hit the ball about that hard in the center. And hit it about 60-70% harder. There you go. Now you're going to hit the ball. Place yourself over here. See where it says ghost ball, there's a gray ball? That's where you would like to make contact. So that would be your aiming point is right down the middle. And as a reference point on the ball, if you can aim and strike where that triangle is, and the rest will watch, see if it's strike one.
Actually, that was a no strike.
she's ready to challenge herself again, and go for strike 2. Place the other one. 4 ball. And 6 ball. So, they all look in place. Now, if you can strike it just a little harder, instead of going that far, just get a little higher up the cue.
Well, that's what happened the first time.
Okay, so aim on the same spot, but do it a little harder.
I stick it.
I'll give it a go. Sometimes you just need a really solid hit. Here we go. So that's part one shot. How many people have seen this shot? You place 4 balls in a line in front of the side pocket. Everyone keeps challenging themselves, I can do it. You can do it. Come on up.
There you go, Will.
It's the 4-ball shot. No. So, here's the challenge. So what happens is, you, in order to place the ball, if you're off by 1 millimeter, the shot doesn't work. You have to make an adjustment. I'll tell you how to make an adjustment. So I'll place the little blue dot. It's not complicated, but switch to it.
So you use the template, Bill.
There's 2 sticks in the rack.
Place them. The advantage of this shot here, the way it's designed is, if you're good enough, on some of these shots, I place what's called a bonus ball. So you can actually try and challenge yourself to see how good you actually are. I place the bonus ball in this quarter. And what you're going to do is, if you were to strike, this is the actual angle that you want to strike from. In your case, you would want to reverse. You'd be right about here. And you would aim over here. And of course, if you were good enough, you'd be able to make this ball the quarter pocket, draw it back. Oh yes. No problem.
Nice try.
Get this guy.
Piece of paper, that's all it is. Just a piece of paper. We've got 3 more to go, then I'm going to take a small break. For all who are interested in a picture, we'll be able to print it today. I'll have it autographed before I'm done. Keep it as a nice souvenir. So, here's a shot called 3 blind mice. Reason being is, 3 balls, and you can actually do it blindfolded if you want to challenge yourself.
So how do you know where to line your paper up?
How to line up your paper. the instructions, we give you it says shot number 4. There's an actual diagram of the pool table. And inside the pool table, if you come up and take a look at it, is a small black, it has a very fine black line denoting the size of the paper in proportion to the pool table. So as well, then you look onto the sheet. There's always 2 reference points to a sheet. And in this case here, it's number 4 and 8. 4 represents the diamond, the length of the table, starting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the letter would be A, B, C, and D. So these 2 reference points will assist you in aligning these papers. And we recommend that you do tape it because sometimes there will be a shift. So in this case here, you have someone holding a little pressure over here, it won't shift. So here what we'll do, excuse me?
Do they work on a big table?
Compatible on 7, 8, and 9 foot tables. So we're going to work on the 7, 8, this is a 9, 6 foot table. What happens is it's quite compressed. Some of the shots will not work. On the 6 foot table, oh, so there you go, done.
You just gotta make a little bit alignments.
A little adjustments on the alignment. Okay, I need a participant for this shot. Here you go. Step right up. What we're going to do here is to make 3 balls in 1 shot. You're going to line yourself up. Actually, we're going to have to move it for you. We're just going to try to hit this spot. It's a little spin. You play pool at all?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Grab the cue. Actually, move over a bit more. See where the 14 is? You want to make a straight line to that. That means a little more to your right. A little more, a little more. Right there. Just try that. Wow. Okay. Hard one. Here's a very interesting shot. I call it Mickey's shot, because if you take a look at it, it sort of looks like a Mickey Mouse there. What we're going to try to do here is make 4 balls in 1 shot. The beauty of this is if you have a pool table at home, you can place at least 6 or 7 of them on the table and they don't interfere with each other. You take them down. Then you can do a little party with all your friends. And for every ball you sink is a point, and at the end of the night, whoever has the most points wins a prize. Here we'll use 4 balls. This is a more interesting shot because it takes a little skill. There's about a third of the shots which are pretty easy. There's a third of the shots which are a little more difficult. And then there's a third which are extremely difficult. So we challenge everyone's skill level. Just assure ourselves that they all touch. And now I need a good shot. Here's a good shot. Step right up. What you're going to wind up doing is 4 balls in 1 shot. I'll show you the instructions. Just below the center, at a medium fire. Look at the lineup. Place the 2 balls right above here. Can you stretch out that far? Let's see if it comes up feeling good. All right, so aim for that gray spot. When you're ready, you're going to go. On the right. All you gotta do is bring it over from this angle. Bring it a little closer. Hit the cue ball. You see that red triangle? That's where you want to make contact. Don't shoot yet. I'll just make sure that you proper alignment. That looks pretty good. When you're ready, go for it. Like I said, some shots require more skill than others. And I'll get another shot too. I'll try this one. The goal here is to make 1 in the corner, 2 in the opposite corner, 3 in the side, 4 bang. Just go to how difficult some of the shots are as well. Paper shifts, so you have to take it down. So we'll leave this one for another day. So now we have to choose a shot, which would be doable. Where is it coming? Make 4 balls. Okay. Call this a scramble. Place it over here. And what you're going to do here is you're going to make what I want you to do is start placing the hole. Sits right in front of you. Place. There we go. Here's your cue. Some chalk. Gray spot. Aim for that triangle with a gray. There we go. One more for now, and we'll take a small break. On this shot here, requires 2 participants. First, I want you to hit the ball. I want to just make sure. One second, try again. Bring it a little closer. There you go. Fabulous. You got a shark in the making here. Now, perfect. Come on, step right up. Check this shot out. This is ingenuity in the making. He's going to be able to make an 8 ball, which is in the middle of all those balls. He's got an option of 4 pockets. And he's going to ask your mom, where do you want to make an 8 ball? You have 4 choices, 2 in the side or 2 in the corner. Would you like this corner or that corner? corner here. So place yourself here. Actually, can we do the other side because he's like the right-handed? Come over on this side. See that gray part? That's where you want to aim. Point of your reference point on the cue ball. Ready? Just take a couple of practice swings. You ready? 20 seconds. Little adjustment. There. Right there. There. That's it. Oh, my narc. Every time he misses, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Can't tell. Okay, second try. Closer. Don't shoot. I have something to facilitate this shot. Actually, for all who are interested in what this cue is, it's actually a masse cue. Masse cue is what makes the ball punch. We'll use this actually to make the shot. We'll give him a little extra weight. There you go. Try this. Different, huh?
You gotta give me one of these bad boys.
Aim where he should.
Perfect, right there. Go ahead, start shooting. I'll just keep this as a... Oh, wow! I'm going to take a small break for all those who are interested in having their picture taken. Do it over by a wall, just looking really nice in the background. And I'll be back doing another 15, 20 shots once we're done.